Hello, I'm Jackie. Welcome to the Jackie Show. Today we are looking at a disaster that was deadlier than the Titanic, and this is the sinking of the MV Le Joola. In September 2002, the world witnessed one of the worst maritime disasters in history. It did not happen in Europe or America. It happened in West Africa, off the coast of Senegal. The ship was called the MV Le Joola. It was a government-owned ferry that carried passengers between the southern region of Casamance and the capital Dakar. The journey across the sea was long, but for many people, it was the cheapest and most reliable way to travel. The Le Joola was designed to carry about 580 passengers, but on the night of September 26, 2002, it was dangerously overcrowded. Reports say that more than 1,800 people were on board, more than 3 times its capacity. Among them were men, women, and children. Entire families were traveling together. There were also students returning to school, traders carrying their goods, soldiers, and people from neighboring countries like Guinea, Ghana, and Nigeria. Some had tickets, but many had boarded unofficially, as often happens. That evening, the ferry set out from the port of Ziguinchor. Its destination was Dakar, hundreds of kilometers to the north, but it would never arrive. Only a few hours into the journey, the weather began to change. The ferry entered the rough waters of the Atlantic near the coast of Gambia. A strong storm rolled in with heavy winds and waves. The Le Joola was not built for these conditions. It was designed mainly for coastal waters, not the open sea. On top of that, years of poor maintenance had weakened the ship, and with so many passengers crowded on board, it had become unstable. Just before 11 p.m., disaster struck. The ferry tilted to one side. Then, within minutes, it capsized completely. The tragedy was swift. Most passengers were trapped inside the vessel. Some were asleep when the ship went down, giving them no chance to escape. Those who were on the deck were thrown into the dark, stormy sea. The Le Joola sank so quickly, there was no time to launch lifeboats. There were not enough life jackets for everyone, and in the chaos, many could not reach them. For hours, no help arrived. The first rescue team did not reach the area until the following morning. By then, the scale of the disaster was clear. Out of more than 1,800 people, only 64 survived. The rest, over 1,800 men, women, and children, were lost to the ocean. That makes the sinking of the Le Joola one of the deadliest maritime disasters in history. It claimed more lives than the Titanic in 1912, which killed about 1,500 people. In Senegal, grief turned to anger. Investigations revealed that the ferry should never have been sailing in the first place. It was overloaded far beyond its limit. It was not safe for the open ocean, and repeated warnings about its condition had been ignored. Many blamed negligence. Families of the victims demanded justice. The tragedy wiped out entire communities. In universities, classrooms were left empty because so many students died. In villages, whole families were gone. And for many relatives, the pain was worse because the bodies of their loved ones were never recovered. More than 20 years later, the people of Senegal still mourn the Le Joola. Memorials have been built, and survivors still speak of that night of terror. But outside Africa, few people know the story. The Titanic is remembered around the world with books and movies, but the Le Joola, which killed more people, is often forgotten. The sinking of the MV Le Joola remains not only a national tragedy for Senegal, but also a reminder of how neglect and poor governance can cost thousands of lives.